Hey everyone, we are just gonna get started in a few minutes. I need to get a few things set up, and some of those may involve some sensitive information, so I'm going to be leaving it on my face for a few minutes while I do that. Mostly it's just setting up an AWS instance that we can do some work on because we need to have a publicly accessible machine. So typically I do most of this stuff on my Mac, but I am unable to really stream well from there. So I'm gonna get a new SSH key set up, get that public key onto the EC2 instance, and then use the SSH client in WSL so I can do all of that from the Windows machine and show it here. We're gonna suffer through using the terminal application on the Windows side a little bit more. Some of the escape characters just like don't work well, and I'm not really sure why. But hopefully that will get better over time. So we're gonna make ourselves a new RSA key. What was the flag for the number of bits? I think it's A or B. B. I think the default now is 2K rather than 4, but I feel like might as well do 4 for RSA. And I don't know what options to use for ECDSA, which is probably what I should be using, but such as it is. Hey, everyone that's starting to join in. I don't know who is there right now. But welcome. I'm getting things set up really quick, so we'll move over to the desktop view in a couple minutes once I have some of the stuff that may involve sensitive information gone. Just grabbing some key material, and I need to figure out how to get this onto the box. I have a thumb drive around here somewhere, or I can just email it to myself. That might be the easiest way to do this. One day I'll have like everything networked. I haven't owned like more than one computer for a long time, and so I haven't really had to deal with this. But yeah, new problems. All right, so that should probably be the easiest way to do it. I'm gonna go over to the Mac, and we'll just bring this over onto the box, and I should be able to now set this up, and we'll get a SSH config going as well here. Authorized keys. All right, so host is NAT. This is 44,238, 163. I guess you all can't see what I'm typing, so it doesn't really matter. But I think maybe we can switch this over. Let me just make sure it works. Yeah, cool. Okay. I think it's safe to move this over now. I'm gonna move this over to desktop, and you can see the inception for a second. What's up, Dade? So basically, I guess I'll explain in a second what I'm doing. There's a couple articles we're gonna need to pull up. NAT slip streaming. So there's this. There is Sammy PL web scan. This is the other one we need. And then there's going to be one other one that is on this other place. Bracedthered.com blog posts. 2020 NAT slipstreaming simplified. And I forgot a letter there. All right. Embrace the red. Did I type something wrong? Embrace. All right. So, like maybe a month ago or so at this point, Sammy Kamkar released this attack, this NAT slipstreaming attack that allows you to effectively punch holes in a NAT. And I'm 100% not a networking person. I'm an idiot and around like all things networking. So I'm gonna try to explain a little bit about this part first. But basically, like NAT, or I think it's network address translation. Yeah, network address translation. Basically, what you're doing is you're building a private network. So like we have these IP addresses, and things are like routable. Like I can hit another IP and it can hit me. And I'm not exactly sure why NAT was created. It could have been because the lack of IP4 addresses that were available, which is definitely one of the reasons why it's used today. But basically it allows you to create these private networks. You have 30 devices at home, 20 devices at home, 10 devices at home, and you don't have that many like public IP addresses from your ISP. So they give you one. You have a router. Your router gets that IP address, and then everything behind that router gets what's called an RFC 1918 address. These are private IP addresses specifically for IPv4, and basically this specifies like a handful of subnets that like internet like is not routable on the internet, and so you're able to do this. So your router it can hand out IPs behind it that are like 172.168 something 192.168, and those aren't routable to the internet, but they can all talk to each other. Then they talk to the router. The router will forward those packets and swap out some of the stuff in the IP like headers, and it does all the magic. We don't have to worry about it. Now, the problem is that there's some protocols that need to be able to communicate behind the NAT. And examples of things that get around this are like stun and turn. Those are used for WebRTC. But some of the most common protocols, I think, are like FTP, which is hopefully going to die at some point in the near future. And also SIP, which is a IP telephony protocol. But basically the way that SIP works is it connects on port 5060, and then you need to open up a port on your machine so it can connect back. And so there's this whole dance about like getting like ports open, which is way beyond like what I should be explaining to anyone here. I think that this article like covers it significantly better than I probably can. But basically, like at the router level, there's some things called ALGs, which are application something or other gateways, something like that. And like the router will inspect the packets and say, oh, this looks like it's a like a SIP connection. So I'm gonna modify the packets so that it can properly get routed and forward them to the right places. And basically what this does is it lets you open up ports. So like my desktop has a SIP client on it. I'm going to open up a port, it's 5555, and whenever packets come in for 5555 for the public IP address, I want them to get forwarded to me. This all happens transparently, and we don't have to worry about it. But if we can trick it, we can get the router to automatically forward traffic from the internet to it. And this becomes especially problematic because there's tons of services on our local machines that are running that are maybe not bound to they're not typically accessible from the internet because of the NAT or firewall rules. But in this case, like if we can get the router to forward it, it's possible. Examples of this are like I think one of the problems that was detected with Zoom, like way back in I don't know, February or whatever, like it had like local services listening that were used for handling the like the call setup and things. And so that was one of the reasons why one of the things that happened. So, you know, if we could pop this and we can get this hole through the NAT, we can have it so that you know, from the internet we can hit that web server, and maybe we can find a bug in it and we can exploit it and we can like do something bad. So all of that said, that's to get us all to kind of like the same level, and I know that explanation probably wasn't great, but it's the best I can do on short notice, and is probably sufficient to at least get us started. So I spent a bunch of time trying to get the code set up that Sammy released. He releases this example code, which I don't know why that did. I think it was supposed to bring us down here. There. So this has this whole thing. This code is a fucking mess. Like, no offense to Sammy, like, I really appreciate everything you've done. The research is really interesting, but holy shit, I spent hours trying to get this working, and had literally no idea whether I was setting it up wrong, whether the code just doesn't work, whether my router isn't vulnerable, and I mostly, like, gave up, and I was like, you know what, there are mitigations that have been put into place in most browsers. It's not worth keep going down this route. And so I kind of gave up on this. I was like, you know, this seems really cool, but I don't want to spend the time. And it's sad because like that's one of like the hallmarks of good research is like whether or not the experiment can be replicated. If you can't replicate the experiment and you can't verify the results, it's not good science. Like I think everyone can agree on that. So I gave up, and then I asked a question to some other people, and someone else told me that they wrote up an article about it, and they have some of their own code. And that's where this other blog post comes in, this Embrace Thread one. And I don't remember who wrote this. I hope that their name is on it somewhere, because I'd like to give them credit for it. But the one of the big differences between this implementation and the one that Sammy released is that the one that Sammy released is designed to work in the browser. You can point someone at a page, and doing some magic, it will figure out the local IP address of the person's machine, like behind the NAT, and you already know it in front of the NAT because that's just how the internet works. And with those two pieces of information, you can pull off this attack, like straight from the browser, and that's it. The original browser code that Sammy wrote is just a fucking mess, and some of the techniques are not super well supported anymore. He's since released this web scan thing, which seems to be a lot more cross-platform, a lot simpler, and the code quality is significantly better. So the first thing we're going to do today is we're going to try to get this code working. There is specifically there's code right here that should work to punch holes through the NAT, and if it does, then we can verify it. We're not doing any of the browser stuff. We're going to set up a local service on the computer we're on. We're going to attempt to punch a hole through the NAT, and we are going to attempt to connect to it from this EC2 instance that we have right here. And that will basically let us verify that, one, the router that I have is vulnerable, that the ALGs in it are vulnerable to this attack, because, like I said, I don't know that for sure. I don't know if the router's not vulnerable. I don't know if the attack just doesn't work, or if the code is bad. So that's the first step, is verifying that the router is vulnerable. If it's not vulnerable, we can go buy a new one and get that probably within a week or something like that, and we can retry it again, and we can set it up. Because we can double NAT and shit, and that probably will be okay. Or we can set up like a separate network and just like simulate the whole thing. If it is vulnerable, we'll move on to trying to combine this web scan piece with the code that is here into a single package. The code here like uses some Python, but it doesn't have like a web server built into it. I think there doesn't seem to be a lot of code necessary for this, and so we'll probably just build a Go implementation that allows me to serve some static files and build the rest of it now. And that way we can have like a single thing that we can distribute, like, and just say like, yep, this is the attack in a package. You just run this thing and everything just works. And if it does and it all works correctly, combining this web scan piece and the example code here, then we should be able to pull off this attack from somewhat modern browsers. Like I said, all of the modern browsers, I should say Chrome and Firefox specifically, have put mitigations in place specifically for SIP. I believe they don't allow remote connections to port 5060 now from the web, so you can't like click a link to some address that's on there, and that's how the web-based version works. We're going to install an old version of Firefox, I believe like 78 or 79. It's still vulnerable. We'll install that, disable automatic update, and we'll see if we can get it working from there once we get all the code like combined and like massaged and hopefully like together. So I think that explains everything that we're doing. I'm gonna take a drink of this, and I am gonna kill the terminals on my Mac because I don't need them anymore for right now. And we'll get started here. I think I already have a tmux session going, which we do. Let's make sure that I can actually, I can, cool, all right. So I was setting this up earlier, trying to get everything working, and it seems like the code that is listed here, so there's two pieces. One is this shell script that basically just does the connection, because you need to send this like fake SIP request to the web server. We can actually use this one, which should just work from our Windows side. I'm gonna download this, and hopefully we don't need to modify it because I don't know shit about PowerShell and it's gonna suck. But all right, we need to get this into a file. I think we can just use Notepad, and we're gonna save this SIP PS1. The other thing I think I just forgot to do is, which we can do here. Oh, no, we can't do there. We can't do that there either. I'm going to open up another terminal here. We don't get Vim. Great. Yeah, so let's open this back up in Notepad. We're going to need to change the address. There were two things we needed to do. I think he calls it out right here. For the if you're on Mac OS, you might have to modify the way to get the local IP if you don't have IP available, or manually update the script. So we don't have to do this because we're on Mac. I had to do this earlier. We can do something real quick. Let's go back to here, and I'm going to set up I think I can do ncat, or I have to do nmap. I just think it's a little bit better than normal netcat. All right. LVP 5060. All right, so we're running this now. We need to change what this connects to. And that is done, no idea. Here. So remote IP. Remote IP. How the fuck does this work? Do I pass this? Oh, position 0. Okay. So so basically I just need to type in the address of our server here. So 44.238, 163. Cannot be loaded, running scripts disabled. Oh, fuck. Really? Alright. We're gonna do the Linux one. Here. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I want this. Paste it anyway. Alright. Let's give this one more shot. Is that all I have to do is just type set execution policy? What are my options? Unrestricted. Is this permanent? Or does this... Oh. That sucks. Run as admin. Twitch is like not letting me type it. Is that so? I'm it. You can use dash execution bypass file your file. So like this should work, I think. Okay, so that seems like it was okay, but this didn't hit that ever. So that is the right IP. So it ran. It just didn't connect. So why didn't it connect? Our port is 5060, which I think we're running it on. We are. It should be TCP, but I can listen on UDP. All right, now it's fucked. Really? Invalid It should be L. What do you mean invalid source port? I'm listening. All right, we're listening UDP. I'm pretty sure it's TCP and not UDP for this, but yeah, even that it's not working. Like the IP address is there. I can ping it. 38, 163. And I can connect to it from here. 44, 238, 163. Fuck you. So like that worked. We are connecting. But this doesn't work. Did I not? I don't think I modified it to the point I needed to save anything. Parameter mandatory true. What is this? So it seems like there is a second parameter that has to get passed, but what is it? It doesn't even have a it's not being saved as anything. Yeah, what the fuck is this? Alright, we're gonna go and just use the Linux one. This is gonna be problematic regardless. And we're gonna have to like do some shit. How do I move this back to not being unrestricted to whatever the default is, so I'm not like running a bunch of like crap that's scary and dangerous? Is there like a default? Maybe? We'll go with that. Alright. I'm going to ditch this. We're going to go back to here. This is 238, 163. Alright. So that's running there. Bash sip. Okay, so this looks good. It sent us the HTTP request, or the SIP request. Privileged L port in the Linux script. PowerShell used 44444. What does that mean? I don't know. I think I'm going to stick with the Linux one because it's working. The only thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to do some, like... I don't know if packets are going to get forwarded through to WSL, so I might need to end up setting up the Mac and like SSHing from the Mac or something, or to the Mac and doing it from there, or some other like crazy thing, or we'll get netcat running on Windows itself, and like I don't know. We'll sort it out when we get to that point. But it seems like this is working. Although this is wrong. This is supposed to be an IP address, I believe, and then this is a port. Because like if we look at this via SIP, yeah, it's like this should be local IP, and 1000 is not our IP. Hazel Racks. For buffer overflows, I like doing Stack Overflows or heap or what. Like there's tons of resources out there now. Probably the best advice I would have to say if you want to like find some like easiest challenges to start with is check out PicoCTF. I don't know what the most like current game is, but this is like geared toward students, and it has levels from everywhere from like super easy to like really fucking hard, and some of the binary stuff in there is pretty good. I have a class that I'm rewriting right now, but I'm planning to put it online at some point in the near future, and it will cover all of that. But it's not ready yet, so I don't want to say like go wait on that. Just this is pretty good, and I'd recommend it. It's also free. So where were we? We were here. This seems wrong. We can look for the SIP protocol, and we can just go verify this. Is the port proxy the stuff for the NetSH stuff? Because I know how to do that, and I've already had to deal with that for something else, and so that'll be perfect if it is. Yeah, also Live Overflow is great on YouTube. I would definitely recommend like checking out his videos. Yeah, cool. Yeah, this NSH stuff for the port proxy, we can definitely do that if we need to. I'm not sure if we'll have to. Yep, perfect. Alright, so let's look at this. This should be able to tell us like what the protocol is supposed to look like, or once we find like actually good documentation for it. But I had this problem when I was running this on Mac, where the 1000 was there as well, and I think that's pulling from like the MTU. If we look at like what it's actually running, I just kill that. If we look at what this is running, it's doing IP route get1, and it's pulling this, which I don't know what this is. Yeah, what is this? Okay, I think what we want is this. So we can swap this out. I really don't think that's right, but let's SIP protocol RFC. And that is it register that we're looking at? It's via. The via header. Yeah, so if we look at this, we see via SIP 2.0 TCP, and then this should be like a host name or something, and then the port. And in this case, it's wrong. So let's go ahead and fix that. And we're going to cut. Our delimiter is just going to be space and field 3. That seems correct. SIP. So that seems correct. Let's try this again. We can listen. We'll run the script. But that didn't send it. What the fuck? I wonder if the router is doing something weird. Let's try something just like cannot do that. What? So this is what I was talking about with things not working. I had I don't know, like these aren't repeatable. Let's put 1,000 in here like we had before. So that works. For whatever reason, like the 1,000 works here, but it doesn't work when we have the real IP address. So let's go back here. Back and forth. So the parts of the request that require customization are the IP address of the internal target machine, which we know. But that is this. And port 5060, the remote port of the fake SIP server, which is not this. The port we want to expose externally to the fake server, which is 1433. And so we can look at this still. Contact Wuzzy at 1000, port 80. So it seems like this is just straight up wrong. So this setup is 80 right now. We can do 1433 just to follow along with. Have you done any hack the box challenge machines Is the answer yes? Are they noob friendly? I think I've done like one of them. I recently did my OSCP this year, and I did a handful. I probably did about like half or maybe more than half of the boxes as part of their labs. I think in general, like, they get easier as you do more, not because you like. I don't know that it's because you just get better at them, but like you develop like a strategy, and that strategy tends to work. And there's only like a handful of different techniques that you're gonna like rely on for that type of exploitation. I mean, it's like you have these like discovery like and recon systems, which is like I'm gonna see what things are listening. If it's web, I'm gonna try to identify paths that might be interesting, or I'm gonna look and see what services are running on it, or like what like applications are running there, and then go look for bugs for it. Yeah, seriously, Dade. I mean, what's interesting though is that like when it has the right data, it's not working, and I don't know if it's that my router is getting in the way, or if it's something else. We are gonna have to do a couple things. We're gonna have to open up a port on the firewall. I think it's in here. Inbound rule. We're gonna allow port 1433. Allow the connection. Yeah, just do it for all of them. All right, so yeah, nice to meet you too. So I just opened up the port for 1433. So that's the first step. The next is we need to do this this port proxy stuff that Dave was mentioning. I might still have it in here. NAT sh. Yeah, there we go. So 1433. And I need to find out what my local IP is. 114, which is the same as what it was here. So this should be fine. Of course, I gotta run it as administrator. Add v4 to v4, listen port equals 1433, listen address equals 12168, 14, connect port equals 1433, connect address equals 127.1. Alright, so presumably this is all set up. And we won't be able to connect to this from here because the port isn't open on the NAT. So we won't be able to punch through the NAT. We can verify all this. Curl ifconfig me. All right, so this is my local this is my local IP, which probably shouldn't be on stream, but doing dumb shit. As he says, and then gets DDoSed by someone probably. So NAT, which we don't have. Yep. So, all right. be 1433. So now, if this worked, I would be able to, from here, connect to it. And we see that it doesn't work. I wonder if we can do it from here, though. Okay, so that worked. We're listening on localhost. We can check to see if my port proxy was correct. Oh. Let's kill this and restart that. All right, so that works. So I should be able to do this from my Mac now. So I'm gonna kill this and oops. Come on, stop it. We're gonna kill this. Tab. Let's go over here and all right, so this now should work from the internet because it's forwarding traffic from my Windows machine into WSL, and as long as the port is open on the router and it forwards it to the Windows machine, everything should be fine. So this is all set up. We're gonna run this. 5060. This is such garbage. So now we're listening on 5060 on the system in EC2. From here, we want to do this. This is going to send the request. This is my local IP, that's my remote IP. The syntax error. Yeah, this terminal is just garbage. Like, it's just not quite good enough. So that worked, I think. I don't know why the terminal loses keystrokes. There's some like incompatibility, I think, or some problem with the Windows terminal and like VT100 like support or something. I don't know. It only happens when I'm in WSL. It doesn't happen in like normal like PowerShell. All right. So it looks like this is sort of okay. Like it's not working because our IP is missing. So we can clearly see here. But we can work on that. So IP route get one. it not right? Oh. Fuck, it has... Is it not? Oh, it's it. How do you... Oh, lines. That's what I wanted. That's what I want. We're gonna run this again. Okay. That looks good. So I think we're sending it correctly. Let's go ahead and see if the SIP server works. I think that this code is like exactly the code that I was running that is from there. Oh, I gotta wait for the... Probably the sock reuse is broken or something on here. Give me 1 second. Let's try this again. Still in use. I don't know if there's a way to, like, just tell it to, like, give it up. I don't have NET tools installed. Great. All right, so that's listening. We need to do 2 things. First of all, let's do this in tmux. All right. NCAT LVP 1433. So this is my local machine. We're listening, and then we're going to go over here, and we're going to do this. And this should open the port locally so that when we go to here, we can connect back. And like this should work. It says the response was sent, and it can't connect. We go over here and like we don't see it open. So it's definitely possible that my my router isn't vulnerable, and that could be part of the problem. We don't know yet. It could be that there's another problem. Like it's just not right. I'm going to make sure that I did the right port, so it's 1433. It is 1433. And that's all correct. We can run this again and see if that helps. $172.30 144.1. Oh, you know what? I wonder if this is not the right IP address. That... It's not the right IP address. We can fix this. Yeah. This is my mistake. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah. I know what part of the problem is. Part of the problem is I'm getting the IP address from inside of WSL, and that IP address is not correct. I want to be using the IP address of the Windows machine, which, if you look here, is this one. So I'm going to hard code this for now. We are just going to hard code this. 1.114. All right. And this might fix that. I'm going to leave that open. And I'm going to check over here. So that did that. It worked. We just proved that the slipstreaming works on this router. This router is vulnerable. We can poke the hole through. It's a Asus AC1900, I think. I think it's this one, the RTAC 1900. Yeah, it's this. I mean, I assume that like pretty much like all consumer stuff is vulnerable, yeah. So I'm pretty sure like all these are any of the consumer stuff that supports ALGs is probably vulnerable. So one of the reasons I wanted to do this was to figure out if our work network was vulnerable. Because like I don't know if I can say like what brand we have, but like we have like, you know, fancy high-end like professional networking gear, and like, you know, we probably have SIP and other ALGs enabled because people have phones, so there's a good chance that like they're vulnerable there as well. So yeah, exactly, they all run the embedded network stack. I don't know what like a Cisco or a Juniper runs. Like I don't know like what they have doing their networking on there. If it's like a Linux derivative or BSD or their own like custom thing like VxWorks or something. But so cool. We proved that this works. So that's really cool. The next step is we want to build. We want to get the. This thing, the web scan stuff, which the whole purpose of this web scan thing is to figure out what your local IP address is. So it found my local IP. It figured out that you know, this was it, and it did it in the browser. So set it. So everything is set up right now. You should be able to do it, and I can even connect back to you if you want to set up like a netcat listener. You would need to run the sip.bash that I have, and you can just find it here. I don't think that this works as intended, but if you just update the local IP here with your local IP address that you're going to run a netcat listener on, like just like I did, it'll work fine. Or use the Windows one or whatever. I don't know how I don't know why the PowerShell one didn't work, but like if you just grab this, it should work. And then you are going to need the public IP of this host, which is... Let me grab that. It's here, 44.238.100.63. And that's what you gotta hit. And then from here, I'll have to send it, connect to you from here, but if you give me your IP, I can do that, or I can grab that out of here probably. But that's pretty cool. So like this is so much further than I got before. Like we've actually proved that the router is vulnerable, and at this point, it's just a matter of getting the attack working in the browser. Like I said, it's already been patched, so I don't know if we can use like the most modern version of Chrome. We can set up an older version of Firefox, and we can test it in there. I gotta find a way to like properly disable the auto update on it, so that we can make sure that we're not accidentally automatically updating, and we will probably end up rewriting this stuff in Go just so that I can have a single thing that will serve the static asset, like the JavaScript and the HTML that we're going to end up serving, and do the SIP server. Because I can do that faster than I can figure out how to do a web server with Python. Yeah, Black. If you want to send me your IP like in Slack or something, I can move away from the screen here, and I can test it and not leak your IP if you'd like. But I'm gonna grab. We need to find this. So I don't know what the beta version is, and I don't know how it's different. Apparently this is also very slow. And so it only does a very small subsection of ranges. I think it's most of the consumer stuff. Like, I think you hard-coded like most of it. So I haven't been able to get Sammy's code to work. It seems like a giant mess, and I never got it working, which is why I moved on to this code. This seemed like it was much more significantly simple. It walked like through exactly how to do it, and Sammy's code, like it required me modifying code. It doesn't have like documentation at all in terms of like what needs to run. The other thing that is necessary with the web-based version is this IP fragmentation stuff. Even moving over to WebScan, we're still going to have to do it, and that's going to involve a few other web endpoints that we're going to need to make work, which is another reason why I think we're going to rewrite the service in Go so we can add those endpoints to like share data between it, because we need to be able to figure out what the MTU is, so that we can do this attack. Basically, like the way that the web-based version works is it takes advantage of IP fragmentation. So at a certain point, like pfSense has no ALG features, SIP or otherwise, so I don't think it can be vulnerable. Yeah, if there's no ALG, it shouldn't be vulnerable. That's interesting though. I wonder if you're using pfSense, like what you do if you have to use SIP, if you just like port forward, or if there's something else you do. But Sammy's like blog post goes into like the whole thing about how it works. Huh. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what pfSense does, or like what magic is. Like I said, I'm not a networking person, so like I'm sure there's other like important information that like fixes all that. But yeah. So the way that this works is it takes advantage of IP fragmentation. So a individual packet can only be so big. By default, most people use, I think, 1500 as their MTU. So what the website does is it figures out what like the maximum IP frame is, and it will make a request, and it will pad out the request so that it takes up I think two different it takes up two like frames. So the first one is just basically like the beginning of all the HTTP shit, and it like pads it out, and then the second one is some data. So it's gonna and the beginning of it is gonna be the beginning of this SIP packet that we're sending with this this request right here, like the via SIP. And so what ends up happening is that the router gets confused, and it sees this this response coming in saying, hey, I'm going to open this port up, and it's like, oh, okay, time to go. Like, we're going to do that. Yeah, I mean, I think part of it is just that a lot of businesses buy consumer-grade shit also, like small businesses, because they don't want to spend money on expensive stuff, and no one wants to maintain it. And they probably built it because all their stuff's built on the same tech, and they don't want to like rip stuff out or deal with like multiple build environments. Cool. So where do we start on this? The first piece is probably going to be getting a Go implementation of this server written, so that we can set up the web stuff on it as well. So let's start by porting that over. Easiest way to do this is probably going to be to just build this on the server itself. Now the question is that going to be really painful with like this terminal just like eating shit? I don't know. We're gonna install a Go compiler. Is it Golang? VS Code remote SSH. Okay, yeah, we can try that. I've actually never done that. Nor do I have VS Code installed on here. But we can fix that. I typically use Goland when I'm writing Go, just because I personally like it better. There's a lot of problems it had here, but they might be fixed now. Yeah, fine. All that's good. It's the same functionality that VS Code uses to work with. Cool. Yeah, so I haven't used that either. But I'm curious to learn. Like I said, I'm really new to the Windows world. Like, all of this is just, like, vastly new to me. But we'll see. You have the Windows system installed on your system. Yeah, go ahead and do that. Alright, that's installed. We want to get Go. We want this. And then I think we need to go configure some stuff for Go. WLSL is nice, but I wish it worked more like Docker, or if they just did Docker like all together. Like the thing about WSL is it's not set up for you to like quickly spin up new environments and destroy them. It's intended for it to be like a long-term like environment that you work in. And I've gotten so used to just being like, okay, new environment that's disposable, and then throw it away when I'm done. And like it's kind of frustrating and not easy to do that. So I want to get the language server set up, and I want to install the Go tools. Yeah, this is what we want right here. Word wrap. Just give me Go. Doc format. Go returns is fine. Don't need any of this stuff. Yeah. Give me all of them? That doesn't help me. Unable to write into user settings. Save and retry. Okay. Sure. Alright, so I think that's everything we need. So I'm gonna create a new folder. We'll call this. Oh, I don't need a Go path anymore because it's all been set up. We'll call this slipstream. All right. Failed to do some shit. The Go bind. I don't have Go installed. Yeah. If I just do the remote SSH thing, do I still need Go installed on here? I guess I probably do. Not to build it, but I probably for local tooling, maybe. I want the Windows MSI. Is that just in here? Preferences, remote. Oh, an extension? SSH. This right here? Alright. Is it this right here? And then how do I set this up? There's a little green icon in the bottom left now. Here? Connect to host or connect current window to host? We'll try this first. What is the IP address? It's 44.238.100.63. Yeah. Oh, okay, that makes sense now as to what that was. All right, so let's kill that. Settings. I'm gonna do remote. Oh yeah, it's not this. It's here. Current window to host. I don't have the key on here. How do I even do this without the key? Let me make sure that key on your Mac. Like the key is in WSL in my home directory, but I don't know where that exists. I can copy it. Let's see if. Okay, yeah, so it's not there. Let's copy this then. ID RSA to mount C users. So let's see if this works. The platform of the remote host is Linux. I think that might have worked. Connected to remote. Open folder. Show local. I don't care about local. Yeah, so I'm connected. Open folder. Home Ubuntu. But there's no. There should be files here. Like the SIP server should be there. Like, oh, maybe? Yeah. Oh, yeah, there we go. All right. Okay. Cool. No, we don't need Python. That's fine. New folder. Call this slipstream. All right. Yeah. Install that. I don't think we installed Go yet. We're probably going to need that installed. Cool. Looks like that's all good to go. I also want the Vim. Yeah. Okay. Font print one. Why could not import font? No package. What? 100% that should work. Why do you think this isn't correct? Install. Whatever you got to install, do it. I don't need you to watch for changes. Oh shit. So this is installing it to the remote machine, not my local one. I don't know how easy this is gonna be. This might make it more difficult to do, because it still thinks that the analysis tools are missing. Let me restart VS Code. So it's reconnecting. Yeah, I already know you can't do that. That's fine. All right, so that's better. I don't know if we have the language server available to us at this point, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, this seems like it's functional. Everything seems to be okay. Let's open this. We're gonna make this a little bit bigger. We're gonna kill that. So we basically need to have a TCP socket. And yeah, so NAT. Oh, you don't give me that? What the fuck is with this? Oh yeah, real cool. NAT. Alright, let's see if it gives it to me now. It doesn't seem to have the language server available. Also, this version of Go is super fucking old. That can't be right. It is right. Can you... I mean, the language server probably won't even work for this. Oh, this is gonna suck. Maybe we bite the bullet and just install Goland and not worry about this. Or we can grab the Linux one and just do this. That doesn't seem like it was correct. That seems like it's more correct. Yeah, we probably can install the language server, but we probably need a newer version of Go. I don't think that version of Go. I don't even know if it's going to support all the stuff we actually need. Is it bash profile? All right. Go bin. Oh, I'm gonna actually restart this because I have no clue if it's gonna actually update from that. Locate configured Go tools. Let's see if we can fix that. Where did it install the Go tools to? None of that seems correct. So that's right. We have the right version of Go there. This is wrong. Choose Go environment. Yeah. Can we just do this? Okay. Your Go root SDK Go is different than before. Update tools. And let's also go ahead and move this. Yeah, sorry this isn't the most interesting thing right now, but I think we'll have an environment up and running shortly. We can actually like write the code for this and make it happen. That's working. Okay, so the language server is like functioning now. Listen, TCP, network. What's the network string? Must be TCP name. There should be examples here. Listener, this is what I want. Okay. Cool. So we're gonna get this listener up and running. Oh, yeah, just fucking include it. We don't want this to be fatal. Yeah, Golang is pretty good about that. Like, I haven't had too many problems with it, but this is so much better than it used to be in VS Code. The VS Code Go support was so bad for so long, which is why I switched over to Golang. Like, it would just crash all the time. And so we'll build up closure here. This is all going to get refactored, but this is just some base code we're going to use. And this is where we're going to implement all of this functionality. I don't know what EOM is. It looks like it's doing it 4 times. End of message. So it's looking for new lines, basically. So it looks like it's reading in 4 lines. If we go back over here, we should be able to look at what it was being sent. So that seems like there's more than 4 lines, though. Maybe it doesn't care about more than 4 lines? Yeah, we don't need this any... Wait, do we need it? No, we do need it. I don't know why it's complaining, though. Okay, yeah. It resets done to 0. Oh, you're right. What is this doing, then? So it's receiving like 1 byte at a time. Yeah. Maybe that's just the protocol, though, is it's waiting for carriage return new line, carriage return new line. We might guess is it's yeah. So it's looking for probably carriage return new line at the end of like the last part, and then an empty carriage return new line, which is the same way that HTTP works, to denote the end of the request. That's fine. I wonder if it's worth doing timeouts here or doing the same thing. Like we can do a read with a timeout. Turn some lights on. It's getting dark. Also gonna grab some water. Be right back. All right, so let's see. We need to read until the end of 2 carriage per new lines, basically. I believe this is a read write closer. We can, let's see what we have available to us in here. IO util maybe. We can try read all. I don't know if that's gonna work. Wait. Oh yeah. The Oso's here. You wanna come say hi? Or just kinda face the wall away from us? I guess he doesn't want to say hi. So we're gonna do that. We're also gonna do close that. So if this works, we should start getting the data spit out to us. If it doesn't work, what's going to happen is it's going to hang. Run without debugging. I don't need delve. I said run without debugging. Starting linting. Yeah. Without debugging. I don't know if it's running or not. How do I know? Of course I don't have that either. It is definitely not running. Otherwise, we'd see 5060 here. Can't import IO util. What? Why can't you import that? What? It's 100% there. 100% there. And no, I don't want you to fucking install Python. Do you just hit the Go one, or do you use the Go Delve one? So that should work. It thinks there's a no results found, clear filters. Like, I don't understand why. Of course it's gonna fuck shit up. Alright, there's no problems now. It looks like it's like crashing or not running or something. Yeah, how do I redo that? There's like a, what's the key combo to get into like the is it Control-Shift-P? Yeah. Go install update tools. We need Delve. And I think that will work. Come on. Oh shit. We also have all of this. Great. Are you using the Mic N DNS client? That's the one that like pretty much everyone in the Go world uses, because the one that comes with Go is not great. That might work. I think that worked. Okay, so that's working. Now, presumably we can just run this. So bash sip. Do we get output? Debug. I don't want the debug output. I want the. Oh no! Yeah. Accept a connection. So it did that. We're probably stuck in here then in the read all. I can probably set up. I can probably break. We can see where we're at. Give me my. I want the other. I want other Go routines. Because the one that we're on right now is probably the main one, and it's waiting to accept. So that's not particularly helpful. Anyway, so yeah, we can't do the read all. What we can do is, I think that IO doesn't have a read file. I think there's a read until. Buff.io. This is what we need. Maybe there's not like a. Can we use a scanner? Is that going to do what we need? That's not where I want to be. Yeah, I guess we'll read it byte by byte, and we will just append it into a buffer and just check for when the last 4 bytes is equal to carriage to new line, carriage to new line. Buff.io new reader. I don't know if I care about doing Buff.io. We don't want the allocation every time. It's fine for right now. Why is that failing? Type byte has no field with a read. What? Oh, I overwrote. I shattered it. Cool. I'll see you later. Yeah, just kill that. We don't need that. It should be going to N. All right, so we're getting our thing here. So if if error does not equal nil, data equals append data C H and then if len of data is greater than 3, then if data cool. So we want the last 4 bytes. I think we can do len minus 4 len if it equals this is super janky, but I think it might be okay. Cannot compare. Oh. We can't compare a byte slice to a byte slice. We have to actually check it byte by byte, or we need to pack it into something that is comparable. This is awful code. We can. I mean, Go's not that bad. Like, it's just that they're like. It's also gonna get better when they add generics, when we can actually like write generic algorithms for it. I mean, we can also do this. String data. Convert that into a string. And that works. I'm gonna break out of that. Received. It's still very bad code, but it's maybe slightly better code. It's really inefficient. Yep, that worked. Is it supposed to be E-register, or is it... What the fuck is that? It's missing a byte. So that's interesting. I don't know why it's missing a byte. I mean, I don't know that we care that it's missing that, but it's concerning, and I don't understand like what the issue is. Accept a connection from there, and then received. Yeah, just kill that, and then... Where's the new line coming from up top? Yes, 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 I know. I am sort of confused as to why the R is disappearing. And where this extra new line is coming from. Yes, we get it, we get it, we get it. Yeah, I mean, like, there's plenty to be unhappy about with Go, but, oh, yeah, that would help if I did that. Yep. Yeah, where the fuck does this R go? It's just missing. And, like, it showed up before. Like, whatever we did before, like, it was fine. Oh. It would help if I did that. All right, that's correct. We see that the R is definitely there. Let's change this back to an S, and I think we'll be okay now. Yep, there we go. Okay. All right. So, we are now reading this. We've done this part. We're going to extract the contact information and the via information. Place. All right, and this is the template we're going to use. Do we want to make this a template, or should we not bother? I guess we might as well. Just to make this, like, maybe slightly easier. What is this? It's text template. Yep, you're gonna forget it. You're not gonna remember that it's the right one I want. Don't want HTML, I want text. Is this the right one? Can you not complete for me? Is that not helpful? You can't do that? Alright. Template, new. Give me an example. It might be everything I'm completing though is all part of Go, so like this should be fine. Sip response. Parse. All right. And then we need to IP colon what is the original one supposed to be like? Oh, it's via, okay. So we now have the template. And I wonder if there's an easier way to do the byte slash stuff there. Oh, there is. There's a bytes compare. I mean, I assume it's just a for loop, effectively, but... add in some notes for myself to go back and actually look at the stuff so that this is like meaningful at some point in time. We're gonna refactor this later, but for now, like this is good enough. And con right. So T. Wait. Oh, yep. Is that not a real type? What is this? Oh, fine. This is garbage. I don't know. I've never had like these problems in Goland, but what does must return? This is not what I want. I want this. It returns a pointer to a template. Which means that T is a text template. Does exist there. I can't do that, can I? Why can't I access this? Fuck off. Undefined text. I guarantee you that text template exists. It's in the standard library. It's right here. It's spelled correctly. Template. Line 40. Oh, it's template. That's why. Yep. All right. There we go. T.con undefined. Oh. Wait, you're not gonna complete for me? Great. All right. So. Execute. It's not parts, it should be template. And there should be so there should be a way to execute without having to have a what are the backtick string? What are these called? They're raw. I don't know, we might want to just not use a raw one and just do this by hand. Does this work this way? This works in C, but I don't know if this will work in Go. Apparently, it does not. Oh. Expected operand found illegal. Does it have to be at the beginning of the line? We don't need that. We have it there. So, in terms of profiling, yes, there is. So, specifically around that kind of profiling, I don't think it's built in. You can use if you're on Linux specifically, I think you can use prof. I think this. Yeah, pprof. You do go tool pprof, and I think it will work. But I think this only works on Linux. And or like specifically does not work on Mac OS. I think this will do what you want. All right, so we have that. We can now run t execute con then we need to give it a struct, I believe. What gets passed? Execute. Yeah. So the data interface. We are going to pass in via and contacts. Unexpected expression. Why is it unexpected? Yeah, if you need help with profiling, I haven't used it personally, but I have a lot of experience doing profiling optimizations, so I can definitely help you out with that, probably, depending on how good or bad the tooling is. Am I an idiot? Or... It's not colon, is it? It's been a long time since I've written Go. What? Going struct. Yeah, it's not colons. It's just that. Why does it think that it's invalid? Oh, you're right. There aren't commas. Thinking of Rust. You're not gonna format this for me? Piece of shit. There we go. All right. So we need to go find those. Yeah. So we gotta go find that data from the string that we have here. So string data. Again, another shitty allocation we're doing here, which we shouldn't really be doing, but we'll fix it later. We're going to write some regexes. Re regex compile. I must compile. Why is this? Oh, really? All right, so we need to parse this. We need to look at what is going to be sent over, which we can find here. Or actually, right. Oh, we don't have it in here anymore. Yeah, I don't know. It's not there. We can see this. So we want to find. So the contact. If the line starts with contact, Where? Okay, here. This is it. All right. All right, so contact. I guess space. Give me the syntax. Single characters. Where's white space? White space is S. Followed by any non-white space at any non-white space. Oh, colon. Well, the SIP is probably necessary there because it's XML. Then this is the capture group we're gonna want, followed by that, and I just hit the wrong button. We're gonna want any non-white space. All right, so I think that this will extract the contact, and we can verify this. Really? You're not gonna fucking complete for me? You piece of shit. Yeah, give me, find, I'm just gonna do find. That's it right there. I mean, we don't actually need to convert this into a string because we're fine. Data, and I don't think there's a second argument. No, there's not. How do you do capture groups? Match string. Yeah, I want the capture group. Sub X names. So I've got to name it. Find all string submatch. All right. Let's go back to that. Find. Oh, we gotta update our regex because it's not just a straight like this. We gotta give it a name, which is done with that. We'll call it contact and I guess it still needs to have parens around it. Or I mean that around it. Okay. That's fine. Sure. And then we do find submatch. Returns a slice of slices holding the text of the leftmost match. I did some super basic profiling of the demand by just substituting counts instead of performing the chords on average. I'm looking at 10x request amp. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot. I just want the sub matches. I mean, I guess. So find. Returns a slice holding the index pairs, identifying the leftmost match of the regular expression in B and matches, if any, of its sub-expressions as defined by the sub-match and index descriptions in the package comment. Oh. I don't understand why they may have to make it so difficult. We'll do find submatch index or find submatch. We're just gonna. This is gonna be an array of. Oh, okay. So this should end up being like zero. Like we just want to do 0. Less than 1. does not equal 1. Yeah, we're just gonna say that, and then return, and then funct print line ddd 0. I think this will work. Yeah, I know. Is not constant. You're right, that needs to be a variable. Hondo p variable. All right, so bad contact. So it didn't match. I don't know why it didn't match. We can because if it's less than 1, try that first of all. Okay, so that's matching. Cool, so that's better. And I wonder if it is going to be 1, because 0 is going to be the whole string, and then 1 is like the first submatch. I think Ruby does that. Perfect. It's greedy. So we need to fix it so that it stops matching there. We can change this to basically not that plus I think that will fix our problem. Yep, there we go. Okay, perfect. Does not equal 2. We'll run this one more time, make sure that this is good. Great, okay. Perfect. And then we need to fix this. The via we're looking for is, where is that? Here. Sip d dot d / TCP any number of spaces, and then anything that's not a semicolon repeating. And we're gonna capture this. We're gonna name it via. And I think that'll maybe just work. Cannot use as, oh. All right. So I think that sent it back. We should. I guess we're not going to see any data. Will we? We don't want silent. That's the reason why. Received HTTP when not. What? I guess we can do -v. Receive. Interesting. I don't know if the write is failing or if let's I don't think I can. God damn it. Yeah, so I can't do a block highlight for some reason. 63, it's 5060. Unable to read. Oh, it is I don't know if it's failing to write, like it's not buffering, or if it's also I don't know why it thinks there's 7 errors in here, but oh, they're just yeah, we'll fix that. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, go away. Holy shit. All right. Go console. Maybe unable to read EOF. I'm not giving it characters turn new lines. I wonder if that would fix it. Yeah. Okay. It seems like that's working. And that's what the response should look like. Let's go back to here and run the SIP server. Gotta kill that. And then we can where were we doing that? Is it no? Here, okay. Okay, so how similar is this? SIP2, okay. Via. Okay, so we're missing stuff. Okay, so it's what it matched before was different, and that's why. Content like 0. Okay. Two. So the main lines that are wrong are the via line and the contact line, it looks like. And that's probably just because it wants all the extra data. Interesting. So I wonder if I just need to grab the entire line, like after the via header. That's what. Yeah, via equals line. Interesting. Okay, we can fix that. And the only thing that it adds on is this that expires and then the received. Okay. All right. We want just basically anything until the end of the line. Dot plus dot plus there. And so we don't even need to do the submatches. That's the most annoying part. I spent so long trying to figure out what the correct way to do that was, and it's just dumb. All right, we can just do find find all, or just find okay is less than 1. All right, so we can kill this server, and we'll spin this back up. It panicked because it probably can't connect. Yeah. Might have to wait a minute for it to. Why is it panicking? Are regexes bad? Yeah, the regexes are bad. And then here, we wanted to do this. Bad contact. That's because it's via. Oh, via and is it contact? Yes, contact. Why is this bad? So it's the length is 0 of that. Why would it not match? Let's see if that fixes it. If it does, it just means that we have to adjust some stuff for the behavior. Bad via. Okay. We may not need the new line matching. Like, it may be that it operates in single line mode already, so we don't need to do anything. All right. That's Where's the contact? So then expires. I don't even see the expires. So here's the from, and then we have received. Why would it put well, number one, where's the via? And number two, why would it put it like that? Well, I wonder if the carriage return is moving it forward. And then I altogether don't see the contact. It's like it's completely forgetting to send that. Let's want the strings. Yeah, we know. Okay, so that's matching. Percent hash v. Let's see if this has anything strange. Maybe we do want it as strings. Maybe we don't. I don't know. Hex 56. What is that? That's octal decimal hex. Okay, where's the rest of 50? Yeah, it's a V. So, and then 69 is I probably. I don't see a carriage return. I don't know where that is, but so that's interesting. Why is this here? Just there's definitely something wrong here. So doing that, it ripped out the 192 period. There, let's see if that carriage turn is there. I don't know what else would cause it other than like that going there and then writing the next handful of lines. Like I don't see it. Like hex 50 is not a carriage turn, and 0D is new line. Or 0A is new line? Oh, 0D is new line. Oh, okay, so... We can do basically anything until update these to be that. I kind of think that it'll work, but I'm not 100% sure. We might need to switch these to using double quotes instead of the raw strings. I think Oso is upset that I've been doing this for the past 3 hours and is looking for me to give him some attention. Maybe we'll wrap up in a few minutes and I can pick this up again maybe tomorrow, or we can keep working on it this week. We did the important part, which is verify that it's possible to get this working, and I mean at this point it's a matter of implementing like the full code to do it and then integrating it with the website of things. And yeah, I mean that's the goals. We'll get it working. I mean at the end of the day, like it's still not really viable, unfortunately, because newer browsers are going to or already have blocked it. But anyone using like an older browser, like it probably is still possible. Let's do this real quick. All right. You can have some attention. Yeah. We'll try this real quick, see if this works. If it doesn't, I'll switch it over to double quotes, and I think that will work. That looks correct. This is getting cut off at the bottom here, but I think that's just because it's waiting for more input. Maybe? I don't know. All right. Yeah, I think we got to. I think I'm gonna wrap it up. Oso is not letting me actually type anything. We'll wrap it up here for the day, and jump on this maybe tomorrow or Sunday or next week. All right. Yep. Yeah. All right. Let me finish this.